history is American history. Every year in February, we get a chance to celebrate and remember brilliant, poignant milestones African Americans have contributed to America.
We celebrate Black people that helped us change history. It reminds us to be strong, even in politics. Wait.
In a land far, far away, I used to produce Black History Month radio spots. In 30 seconds or less, the informational nuggets shared gave me a sense of pride and accomplishment in being a broadcast producer and storyteller. I wanted the rich history of my ancestors to be celebrated and remembered in those brief moments via the Black History Month spots. Research, debate over timelines, and significant contributors to Black history were written into each production. Creating these short remembrances were not just for a grade or bragging rights at the BSU, Black Student Union. It was a great way to remember and record the many ways African Americans, famous and not so famous, fought for civil, political, and social rights in America. Here's a serious question. Do you know your history? EP Michael Womble and I explore the recent docu-series created on Hulu called The 1619 Project. There are so many historical documentaries being released this month in February, and our Interludes team is here for it. I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and this is Interludes.
Interludes, a Peer Lighthouse production.
Become a future sponsor or advertiser on our podcasting platform by visiting our website today.
And now, all the way from the south side of Chicago, give it up for your host, Val the Voice Johnson.
The very first of us arrived over 400 years ago. Virtually no aspect of our country has been untouched by the centuries of slavery that followed. This is the 1619 Project.
On a recent episode of Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesdays, Michael and I discussed the recent docu-series 1619 Project, a new limited series produced and created by Nikole Hannah-Jones. We have both been a fan of Hannah-Jones' work from the beginning with the original 1619 Project as a podcast series and written articles for the New York Times. What to expect from this upcoming 6-part series will be fun to explore. Here's some of our initial thoughts about the docu-series. For Black History Month, and you're the one that kind of clued me into this, was the 1619 Project, one of your favorites. Exactly, on Hulu, Nikole Hannah-Jones they've now had it'll be a 6-part documentary showing exclusively on Hulu, and this was initially based on the New York Times podcast and article.
Mad too.
Mm-hmm. What happened is going to be
mad over this. People that was mad over the article, mad over the book, they big mad over this.
Oh yeah,
can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Val, tell us more. Val the Voice.
Well, in conjunction with Oprah Winfrey, Nikole Hannah-Jones, one of the executive producers for this, I got a chance to watch a little bit of it, first part. And she's going to be including a lot of her own story in it, but it definitely covers a lot of what she did for her podcast for the 1619 Project. And this was actually released in August of 2019 to talk about when slaves were first on the shores of America, which has been heavily disputed in history and books, and then also we've got politicians.
What you mean? Which part's been disputed?
Exactly when slaves arrived on American shores.
Oh no, that's not dispute. There's no dispute about that.
There's no dispute about us coming. It's not no dispute that we came. It's a dispute on when we came. That's the dispute. No,
that's not really the dispute.
Okay, what is the dispute? What do you think?
Here's part of the dispute. There she is. There's Nikole Hannah-Jones. She didn't reply to my emails or my Twitter, but that's okay. I still love you. I still love you, you red-headed gal. All right, so here's the deal. So it's not necessarily that people are disputing, outside of Governor Ron DeSantis, the idiot in Florida. There's nobody really disputing whether or not Africans came to America or Virginia in 1619. What they're disputing is, when does America start? This is really when this is the crux of the argument. And it's still either stupid people still writing articles about the show as if it's separate from the book, as if it's separate from the article, which they had a problem with. Now they're continuing that. We don't like this either. Well, I didn't think you would like it. So that's okay. Let stupid be stupid. But here's their argument. In fairness, I'll let you know what their side is saying without editorializing it. They dispute that America started in 1619. They're saying America started, of course, in, wait for it, 1776.
Yeah.
Right. And that's when America became a place, and it became a place for Americans. And then, of course, it came with freedoms, not for all initially, but eventually we came with enough freedoms that we would make space to give freedoms to all later on, after the most bloodiest civil war that the world had really ever seen, and still disputed to this day. Now, if you accept that nonsense, then you start the clock at 1776. Of course, we were taught all this stupidity, Val, by the little songs. Remember, we even had Columbus in some kind of positive, light, like
viewpoint,
right? Remember 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And then, 1776. Oh, yay, that's when it all happened. Is that right? Nah, there were people here like almost more than 100 years earlier. And you know what they had 100 years earlier, Val?
What did they have?
Slavery. That's slavery. Okay? There was slavery in the Americas before there was an America. There was slavery from the British. There was slavery from the French. All the people that came over here had their own forms of it. Now we're just looking at the British here in 1619, Jamestown, Virginia, the founding. So she starts the clock from there, which many other historians also start the clock around there. But there are these folks, the folks that are telling you that it's black on black crime going on in Memphis, and that's what's happening, and it's not what you see with your own eyes, even though you saw all 4 videos. They're the people that are telling you that no, it started in 1776, and they wrote the Declaration, and then in 1787 you had the Constitution, and that's America. Well, not really.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Have you seen it? It's the weekly chat with EP Michael Womble, Coach Tony Thompson, and host Val the Voice Johnson. Interludes Extra presents Talk on Tuesdays. Join us and other special guests as we break down the latest topics surrounding music, movies, and sports every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, live in our chat on our Interludes YouTube channel, Facebook group, and now on Pod TV on Roku.
And this is what Nikole Hannah-Jones explores here. She does so by looking at her own family times and the complexities within her own family, which are interesting, at least to me.
Exactly.
And then it begins to kind of go out from there. What does it mean? Why do people have this sense of inferiority? Why do people have doubt about themselves? Where did we get this concept of race from? Who's walking around checking for 1 drop of blood in people? Who's setting up these forms? Where is this all coming from? So she begins to explore that. That's the ugly underside of our beautiful country, and it's something that deserves to be looked at and explored. I'm glad big homie Oprah is on her side and backing her in this, along with, the hated New York Times with all the libs, I guess, there. But they're exploring something. And it's really, if you watch it, you can learn something about your own family by looking at her family and looking at the American family. And
exactly.
that's what I think is really amazing about this project. Also, the idea that nobody thought of this before she went ahead.
Before she did.
At the beginning of it. Certainly, many people have looked at 1619 since then.
Right.
The fact that this was the first time that it kind of exploded is kind of amazing.
And so the episodes, democracy, race, music, capitalism, fear, and justice. So what's happening on Hulu? They're releasing 2 episodes.
And I saw the first 2.
And it's a limited.
Were excellent.
Yeah, they sure were, and very engaging. And so this is something, if you haven't heard the podcast, it's available. If you haven't read any of the series, it's available. But Nikole Hannah-Jones and her production team has definitely done a great job. Roger Ross Williams, Kathleen Lingo, Caitlin Roper, they're some of the executive producers of this. So guys, the 1619 project is available on Hulu, and it is a great Black History Month. Oh, nope, not just limited to Black history, American history.
Yeah.
Of we should be checking out. Definitely.
Well, you can't really tell American history without telling Black history.
Exactly.
And that's what the idiot in Florida needs to understand with him trying to block an AP course on African American history, which is just simply ridiculous. Hello. So it's just simply ridiculous. I don't understand it. And those who don't know the past are condemned to repeat it. We certainly have been seeing some repetitions in history, sadly, even within the short span of the last 5 to 6 years.
To check out the full episode of Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays, please visit our Interludes YouTube channel.
Interludes, original concept by Valerie Johnson, written by Michael Womble, produced by Michael Womble and Valerie Johnson. Original intro and outro music produced by Kendall Nesbitt. Interludes, a Peer Lighthouse production.
To become a future sponsor or guest on our platform, or to join our Interludes community of podcasters, please visit the website linktr.ee/Pure Light Media.
To subscribe to our YouTube channel or join Interludes Facebook group, visit the website linktree/Pure Light Media. That's linktr.ee/Pure Light Media.